Hi, White Lotus fans. Welcome back to Tori Talks with Dr. S. I'm Tori. This is Dr. S. Today we'll discuss Season 3, Episode 5. It is entitled Full Moon Party. There are hookups everywhere. Jacqueline and Valentin, Ponchai and Belinda, Saxon and his brother. Okay. Anyway, we're going to start with something a little less disturbing. So Piper. This is the episode where she tells her mother and father that she would like to stay there, that this was all a ruse. There's no thesis. Right. She wants to stay here for a year and live like the monks do.
Which I respect that portion of it, but I think lying to them to get them all to come to Thailand.
That's insane.
That sounds kind of, you're setting them up to not receive this news very well.
That's not okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Like you lied, and it seems like an expensive trip.
I thought they would be more mad about that than, Victoria saying, you're not from China, and all her weird things that she goes off about.
Yes,
right?
I would be mad, but maybe they're so rich that they're just like, oh, we just go to Thailand. I don't know. But
maybe it really doesn't matter to them. Well, it matters now, doesn't it, Tim?
Yes.
He doesn't say much because he's really not these days.
He is so out of it. You know, he pops them 2 by 2. The pills, which I feel like that's probably not okay.
That's not okay.
1 at a time, I would imagine, is, and so often is probably not okay, but 2 at a time, that often, seems very dangerous.
Yeah. What did you think about when Guy Talk asks him about the gun and he just flat out denies it? But it's like he knows. He knows that he has the gun.
Yeah. There's no other option because he sees on video, right, that he goes in and he comes out. Like, who else could have taken it?
There's no way.
Yeah. No, I know. He's so out of it, though. I don't even know if he knows what he did.
Right.
But he does, though.
No, he does. He knows
yeah,
for
he does
sure.
know. Yeah, because he's like trying to figure out, playing out the options in his mind of what to do about his problem and the guns there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
His character. We get to meet Rick's friend Frank, who is, interesting. He tells a very elaborate, detailed story, which basically boils down to him wanting to be an Asian woman. Mm-hmm. But he says it in the way of sexual acts and desires. And that was all over the place, and that was some amazing acting.
It was. Can you just imagine being behind the scenes on that set, though, when he's telling the story? Like, how many times did he have to start over because people were not able to keep a straight face?
Together?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Such good acting. I feel like that's Emmy territory there.
I think so, too. By the way, the actress who plays Kate, Leslie Bibb, this is her real-life husband, Sam Rockwell. Okay, fun fact. So also who does great acting is Rick, the Walter Goggins, because it's like he's trying to be a friend, so he's listening, but he's also...
No judgment.
Talking about. So I don't know what that was about, or if people really have these moments, but okay,
I mean,
sure. Trying to
part of it I was following in the beginning, because I don't know if you know, but in Thailand they're known for having very beautiful like men who like look like women, like you would never be able to tell. It's like, oh, maybe he's just talking about like being drawn to them. And then when it became he wants to become one, I was like, oh. And then Frank just calmly
Rick.
Oh yes.
He's just
listening.
Like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
What a good friend.
What a good friend.
Yeah.
Totally. So I was like, okay. And you also don't know where it's gonna go. Like, are we gonna see? Is it gonna start flashing to the flashback?
Right.
It's very
I think we all felt like Rick.
Uncomfortable.
Okay.
But understanding.
Trying to be open.
It was very like sincere telling.
It was very raw.
Yeah, and he's sober now because, he realizes that maybe he needs to make some changes in his life. So yeah, I don't know. Again, White Lotus continues to provide us with things that you've never seen or heard on TV ever.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's that. I'm just going to move on because I really don't know what else to say about that part. Okay, so Belinda tells Fabian the real story about Greg and how he's wanted for questioning and the connection to his wife's murder. But Fabian tells her to quit gossiping. That was a little too
Yeah.
I don't know if he's trying to practice that, just positivity, if that's just like the way he lives his life. But it was a little too dismissive for me.
I didn't like it either. And I also thought, it was dismissive. And is he just trying to protect the reputation of the hotel? Because he doesn't want to lose out on money.
Probably.
But you're putting the hotel in jeopardy if you don't take her seriously. And why would she make up this stuff?
You know,
So
being a nurse, one of the first things you learn, literally nursing 101, is validation. Yeah, maybe you don't even know how they feel or or if that could even be true, but you just kind of validate. Not saying, oh, that's horrible, blah, blah, blah. Just, oh, wow, I'm sorry you went through that. It's, I mean, it's all accusations at this point anyway,
Yes.
or how awful that must be. But no, he just said, you keep your mouth shut.
yeah.
Maybe because he also spends a buttload of money there, probably. I mean, now Gary he lives there, right? And they probably know him pretty well. So he's probably a big spender, yeah.
What if Fabian knows?
That's kind of what I was thinking too. I didn't want to go there because it seemed like an outlandish theory, but there's more to Fabian than just him wanting to be a singer.
Right? There's something interesting about him being in that role as a manager, but having no like leadership presence.
At all.
Yeah,
You're right.
He has
doesn't.
no backbone.
You're
so yeah,
right.
now he wasn't really on my radar, but now okay, little red flag there.
You're a little suspicious. Well, because now Belinda's feeling alone, she asks Ponchai for protection. And then, I mean, he really at this point just protects her from the lizard behind the dresser. Which I really wanted to know what that noise was too, so I'm glad we got that. Anyway, that relationship's definitely heating up a little bit.
I like that for her.
Now let's just talk about the full moon party, okay?
Okay.
So, well, there's the yacht party. We have Chloe, Chelsea, the Ratliffs. Rick is there, kind of. Well, he was. Anyway, they have their party, and
They're done.
it's a good one.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
done. Yeah, they're okay.
They're ready to move on to the next part of their day.
Exactly. The girls that have fun with Valentin and his two friends, well, it ends up with Jacqueline hooking up with Valentin, which I totally saw coming. You did too.
Oh,
yes?
yeah,
Okay.
totally.
No surprise.
And her husband wasn't answering the phone, and I think that's what set her off. Like
Last straw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like she created a whole scenario in her head where her husband doesn't love her anymore, is maybe cheating on her,
Right.
and she's like, I'm gonna hook up with this guy.
And Lori is, she got a little wild. She took off her top, right? Just they're all just having fun, but
Yes.
Lori didn't try to hook up with him, so more on that later. Anyway, that's pretty much the gist of episode 5.
Yes.
It's getting very interesting.
It is.
All right, let us know your thoughts about this episode. Comment below, and then we'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye-bye.